So there is this TikTok trend of women walking around on the street holding up signs saying, "I'm looking for a husband." And as you can see, it draws a lot of attention. These videos get millions of views. I guess because it's something of a novelty to see a woman publicly admitting that she wants a husband. And maybe this is progress, it's pushing back against the feminist narrative that women don't need a man, they're fine on their own. It's good for women to be independent, all that sexist nonsense. But I'm afraid I'm not going to be taking you on a journey of optimism today. This whole thing makes me suspicious and cynical. Watch how the passengers of this airplane respond to this woman's announcement.
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Sarah Lee Nicky. I'm looking for the rich husband. My fees is 2 Please join me.
This is my question. Are we really making progress if we've got women saying, "I need a man, I need a husband, I want somebody to marry me," if it's always within the realm of, "I'm looking for a man to do things for me, to make my life easier"? She specifically stated that she wants a rich husband. Is this a return to traditional femininity, or are these women just sugar babies masking their intentions by calling it marriage? And even if it's not about money, I am still deeply troubled by any paradigm of relationships where a woman approaches her dynamics with a man as though he is simply a tool to make her life easier, rather than a fellow human being worthy of dignity and respect.
I need a husband. Here's the thing. I am a strong, independent woman, all right? But I am also very small, very weak, and have the stamina of a 90-year-old woman. I need a husband for practical purposes. I need a husband to help me move furniture and build a garden bed and, use a saw. I understand how to use a saw, but they scare me. I don't need a sugar daddy. I need a sugar mechanic. I need someone to reach the things that are high up.
All right, let me stop you right there. This isn't cutesy. It isn't fun. It's fucking dehumanizing. It's sexist. You can imagine the outrage that would swell up if we had men on TikTok saying, "I need a wife to help me with practical things so she can clean my house and sew my clothes." This is why I'm not a fan of this, "I'm looking for a husband" trend. On the surface, it might sound traditional and look feminine, but when these women say, "I'm looking for a husband," all I hear is, "I'm looking for a mechanic, I'm looking for a wallet, I'm looking for a sugar daddy who can just do all the difficult parts of life for me so I can relax." That perspective, it's just fucked up. Here's a question. Wouldn't it be interesting if instead of walking around the streets with a sign that says, "I'm looking for a husband," instead those signs said, "I'm looking to be somebody's wife"? And I'm not the only person who thinks so. You might think, well, that's a meaningless difference. Those two things mean the same thing. No, they don't.
What is the difference between a woman that wants to be a wife versus a woman that just wants a husband?
Oh, you know what? I think most of us are bred to just want a husband. Whereas to be groomed and trained to be a wife means to understand how to respect masculine energy, how to truly be inside of your feminine, which means trusting the leadership of your partner. I think a beautiful opportunity for us to empower that man and ride through the storms. I feel like we live in a weak generation where things get hard and people immediately are like, "Oh, I quit. This is too hard." And that's it's never going to hinder you the result you want. If you keep quitting, it's to be groomed as a wife means it's compassion, it's longevity. That's where marriage starts. When you get married, you say, "I do," it starts. Whereas other people, it's like when you get married, "I made it." No, you didn't make it. You hate that man. You hate that woman. Y'all can't stand each other. You don't care enough to not disrespect each other or call each other out of your own name. You don't care enough to not want to sleep on opposite sides of the bed when there's a problem. You don't care enough to have the hard conversation so that you can move together more powerfully. That's just to have a husband. But when you want to be a wife, things are different.
She's right. To talk about wanting a husband is to focus exclusively on receiving something. The theme is still women wanting stuff, wanting men to take care of them. To frame marriage instead as "I want to be somebody's wife" is very different. I'm going to say back to why I want a husband and I want to be somebody's wife are very different things. To say I want to be somebody's wife is an expression of giving, of generosity, of wanting to be an equal partner and contribute to a relationship. The terms husband and wife, when you say them, it conjures up feelings of duty, of obligation, of responsibility. This goes both ways for men and for women, and it is fine for a woman to say, I want a husband, and to have those expectations that he's going to fulfill those husband duties. But if you are looking for a man to protect and to provide, it's only reasonable to have those expectations if you are prepared to do your part. You need to be showing that same level of devotion to your man. That's what a healthy dynamic looks like.
This is what I look for in my future husband. A man who wants a relationship, who wants a family. A deal breaker is an atheist. I'm looking for a masculine man, a traditional man. What I have to offer are the 3 C's. Cook, clean, and conceive. I am ready to devote myself to my husband and my kids, and to love them and take care of them with my entire heart.
I mean, I'm an atheist, but apart from that, this woman gets it. Reciprocity is the foundation for a healthy relationship. Men and women helping each other, supporting each other, using their femininity and masculinity to contribute to that relationship. That benefits both of them as individuals and any children born to that family. Like this woman said, when you get married, that's when you start. So many modern women have this image that when they get married, that's it. You know, they've made it. That's when they can start to relax. It's the end of all of their problems. And, you know, you can't really blame them. That's kind of the propaganda they've been filled with in Hollywood and Disney. Since they were kids, they've been fed this idea that all of their struggles are going to end when they finally get married. You combine that with the current cultural push, you know, that completely dehumanizes men and judges their value based on what they contribute towards a woman's life, then it's no wonder this current generation is expecting that the man is just going to do everything for them. You know, of course, marriage seems like, you know, a really enticing idea. It's an attractive story. It's easy to sell to women. No more struggles, no more problems. As a story, that's certainly more marketable. You're able to sell that to women a lot more than telling her, you know, when you start marriage, that's when your obligations and your responsibilities kick in. That's when you need to struggle with your personal demons and become the best possible self. That's when you need to serve your husband and take care of your children the same way that he's taking care of you. Marriage is when the real work starts. Yeah, I mean, somehow I don't think that story hits that female fantasy in quite the same way. But it's a missed opportunity because in truth, being respected as an equal partner in a relationship, loving somebody, being devoted to them, contributing your energy in a way that's meaningful to you both, that is infinitely more satisfying as a human experience than being a sugar baby. Men, you know this. Right? Like if you're offered 2 jobs and one of them, they require nothing of you. You can be lazy. You can goof off. You don't have to use your mind or any of your talents and you still get paid. And the other, you're respected, you're challenged, you're engaged and interested in the work. Obviously, that one is more satisfying. You feel more like a complete person actually doing something meaningful with your life. It is not a satisfying experience as a man to have everything handed to you, to have your laziness be tolerated. That's not what we want. We want to be challenged. We want to be inspired. We want to engage with life. But then what the hell is going on with modern women? What bullshit have they been told that makes them think that the gold-digging sugar baby lifestyle is going to bring them any happiness? Because I don't believe that women are some exception to the rule, that men are just so fundamentally different. Nobody wants their brain to atrophy. All humans, regardless of gender, we want to bring forth our innate skills, our talents, our abilities. We want them to be seen, received, appreciated. Women who are in happy, functioning relationships, they enjoy contributing their talents, their feminine skills to their man, to that relationship. It is a satisfying experience to them. But for some fucking reason, women have bought into the idea that this is somehow demeaning, that supporting and being devoted to the man that you love is somehow beneath them. I feel genuinely sorry for all of the sincerely ambitious women out there who have a lot to offer, who have fallen victim to this myth that says that it is going to be enjoyable for them to just live like a queen and be served by men. I actually have serious doubts about the mental health of any woman who could enjoy that dynamic. How could you feel comfortable being in a relationship where the distribution of responsibilities is not equal? Why isn't her conscience just screaming inside her brain, my husband does more for me than I do for him? How can she be okay with this? Doesn't she notice the blatant sexism? How can she justify this? And like I said, on a practical level, she's missing out. There is an experience of femininity that she won't get to unlock because only by being a dutiful, loving, supportive wife can she access that. You men out there who are husbands and fathers, you know what I'm talking about. There was a part of your masculinity that became unlocked when you took responsibility for that relationship, when you took that responsibility for your family. A lot of men say, I can't wait to be a husband, I can't wait to be a father, because they know how satisfying that's going to be. Finally, their masculinity is going to be on full display. It's going to be able to demonstrate the full force of what he's capable of. The exact same thing is there with femininity. There is an experience that's so rich and satisfying for women that once they have it, they're a wife, they're a mother, they'll wonder what they could have done without it. It will become such a core part of their identity. They will understand their femininity in a way they never have before, and it will be beautiful. They will love it. This is why my overall message isn't to shame women or to criticize them. From my perspective, I'm on your side. I'm trying to tell you what's in your best interest, and unfortunately, the culture has lied to you. Stop thinking about what you can get from a husband. That's not the right way to approach relationships. Instead, spend some of your time thinking about what you're going to be able to contribute as a wife.
I'm broke.
I don't care. Look at me. I don't care what the we have to go through. I'm going to go through it with you. We're going to go through it together. Listen, if you got to stay with me and find a job, we're going to sit all night going through applications together. I will not let you fall. You understand me? I am never going to let you fall. I'm always going to have your back. Look at me. You're not broke. You're fine. You got us. And I got us too. So I'm going to be here for you. Always. Okay? You understand me? We're going to get through this. I'm not going to let you go down the drain. I love you for who you are, for your personality, not for what you got. I don't care if you're rich, you're poor. I don't care about none of that shit.
I mean, what do you say? Women, this lady is your role model. This is what femininity looks like. And I guarantee, I promise you, her experience of her relationship will be more deeply satisfying than even the wealthiest